Mandela Chain, a Polkadot Layer 1, is tackling the world's fourth largest country, Indonesia, and looking to bring them on chain. And it's doing all this by utilizing Polkadot. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to start the video off by exploring what Mandela Chain actually is. And then we are going to look at how they are tackling the world's fourth largest country and looking to bring them on chain with various authority partnerships, and of course, one of which is a government entity itself, and looking to secure 10 million wallets onto Polkadot. And this is just the start. Indonesia has nearly 300 million individuals that the government is adamant about digitizing, and Mandela Chain stands a good chance of doing that, thus Polkadot. So we're going to be exploring all that. So we'll be looking at how they're doing all this, some of the pilots that are taking place to actually help them do this. Indonesia is just one place. It's one major use case that we're going to highlight for Mandela Chain, but they are working in Asia more broadly. One thing I want to really highlight is Mandela Chain really showcases the uniqueness of Polkadot. Polkadot is really designed to be a blockchain resource, a general purpose blockchain resource that anybody can use. With a distributed ledger, you can solve many of the problems that are facing today's world and actually take us into the future. And Polkadot has positioned itself, certainly with what's coming up in regards to doing away with parachains and breaking those barriers to entry so that anybody can build on top of Polkadot. I really love that Mandela Chain kind of showcases that. It's a very kind of, at the moment, unique use case. But if you look across Polkadot's ecosystem, you've got everything there, from DePIN to DeFi to identity to social media to launch pads to AI, you name it, Polkadot has it. And it really highlights the uniqueness of Polkadot being a general purpose blockchain apparatus. So we're going to be diving into it all. Let's start things off by looking at Mandela Chain, which is bringing the world on chain, one country at a time. And of course, they're starting with Indonesia. So a little bit about Mandela Chain. Mandela Chain is a pioneering hybrid layer 1 blockchain connecting retail, enterprise, and government use cases with a strong focus on interoperability, data protection, and ease of adoption. We aim to revolutionize how industries operate while ensuring privacy and security. It uses the substrate, i.e. Polkadot, framework to create a customizable and modular architecture that provides confidentiality, anonymity, and data protection for users. The project leverages zero knowledge proof, also known as ZKP technologies, to enable private transactions and verification without compromising privacy, creating a trustless, secure, and private environment for data storage and transfer. Why they are starting in Indonesia, the Indonesian government and enterprise sectors are ripe for distribution, and Mandela Chain has a growing list of partners and projects ready to deploy. We believe adoption starts with strategic partnerships and projects with real utility. Let's now dive over to what Mandela Chain are actually doing. And I want to start off with a clip from one of the Twitter spaces that was held by Filippo. They actually talk about this massive partnership that is taking place in Indonesia, the world's fourth largest country. Let's dive into this clip, let's play it, and then we're going to look at them talking about actually how they're looking to facilitate bringing 10 million plus new wallets into the Polkadot ecosystem specifically.
Oh, thank you, Filippo. So, yeah, we have our initial use cases is identity, the digital identifiers. Indonesia now is building digital identifiers. So we have a project use case name is ID Chain. This is identity infrastructures that helping the government now. We'll starting the POC with the government entity that appointed to handling the identity in Indonesia. So imagine that we have like 280 million people in Indonesia. So it's we are aiming to putting all of them on chain, all of their data. You can imagine that a lot of identity will be coming from Indonesia itself. But not only that, this identity is also has the uniqueness. So if you know that there is a lot of top-level domain in Web2, right? So you know .com, .io, everything like. And you know that we have .id. So if you know that .id is basically .Indonesia, but we're seeing that some of the people, like for example, like Coinbase, they're using cb.id for the identity, and then from Kill they're using w3an.id as the identity searching also. So we are seeing that .id is not only about Indonesia now. It is .id is the identifiers. So based on that, because .id is controlled by the government. By the organization in Indonesia that called Pandi, the Indonesian internet domain name. So we discuss with them and we collaborate with Pandi to creating the infrastructures for ID chain itself. So this is our first. This is basically a national use cases. And just yesterday, I met with the province secretary region of East West Java province in Indonesia. If you know, in Indonesia, 20% of our population is in West Java. So they want to use the identity mechanism that we have, like ID chain, and also they want to us to creating a prototype, like helping their use case, because there is a certification fraud in this province. So they want to putting on blockchain and using our technology, Mandala chain technology and ID chain. So to solving these problems. So this is what we have so far.
Be exciting, and of course, this is all enabled with Polkadot. And this again, going back to my point at the start of the video, it's really a great highlight for just how useful Polkadot is and how well positioned it is. You're seeing multiple use cases come out of one project that's building on top of Polkadot, really utilizing its underlying infrastructure. And we're yet to see, and I think Polkadot has a good chance of seeing it, that one killer application for the blockchain space. You know, if you look at what really took the internet to new heights, it was some of the applications that were built on top of it, like what we're communicating on at the moment, YouTube, Facebook, many of these other things. We're yet to see that take place for Web3, but lots of people are sort of racing towards it. And I think Polkadot has the potential for lots of these killer use cases to actually be built on top of it, given its kind of general purpose, unbelievably secure, fast, and stable blockchain. Let's actually dive over to how Mandala Chain are actually looking to facilitate certainly the ID use case and bring 10 million plus wallets over to Polkadot through this one use case. So this is from Mandala's official Twitter page. It's only 2 days old. So we're not shy about our claim to bring 10 million plus new wallets conservatively, so meaning they're undershooting here, to the Polkadot ecosystem. It's ambitious, we know. Let's work through the data to see where this comes from and why we may be understating it. A dive into the numbers. So everything starts with the ID chain. Our collab with Indonesia's top level domain holder, ID. We take the ENS model and turn IDs into Web3 assets in partnership with the government of Indonesia, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth largest country in the world. We are integrating digital identity infrastructure on top of the .id. It's important to understand that identity digitization is a major innovation in Indonesia. Also important, previous attempts have failed due to breaches. This has opened the door for blockchain to become the underlying data structure. With ID, you have a second level domains that are used for government and enterprises. .go.id for government, .co.id for businesses and banking. There are over 100 million unique active addresses that interact with these second level domains. Imagine how whenever a user interacts with these second level domains, they are promoted to digitize their identity to make this interaction easy, i.e. create a wallet and submitting relevant identity docs. A 10% conversion rate equals 100 million wallets, which is what they're aiming for. Based on who we've partnered with, we believe that number is conservative. ID chain infrastructure also becomes the base foundation for other use cases to Lego on top of. For example, we'll be running a pilot with a co-op of banks to place transactions on chain, an estimated 40,000 wallets in this pilot. Not a large number of users, but the goal is in the use case. If successful, it introduces a much larger market opportunity. Speaking of gold, tokenizing assets is another major use case, bringing liquidity, TVL, and DeFi potential applications. We'll just leave it there for now. So this is absolutely a chain to watch, ladies and gentlemen. Another pilot program that they have is with numerous hospitals that will put medical data and insurance on chain, estimated 900,000 users. So this can also onboard millions of users once expanded beyond the pilot. The creative agency for the city of Denpasar wants certifications on chain to protect artist IP and authenticate SME enterprise products for global sales, a TAM of over 80 million certs. If successful, we push for national adoption. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There is plenty more in the works, but we'll leave it there for another thread. The main idea of this thread was to provide context for the bold claims we keep shouting from the rooftops. So 10 million wallets comes from our base use case of ID chain alone. Remember, 10% conversion. All of the use cases then Lego block on top of this to onboard more users. This is not crypto fugazi. It's real world utility. So yes, we're claiming it. 10 million plus wallets coming to Polkadot. We're going to leave links, ladies and gentlemen, to where you can find out more about Mandela Chain and what they're doing in the description. This is incredibly exciting. And the fact that these guys are utilizing Polkadot, meaning these wallets are going to exist on the Polkadot infrastructure, is absolutely fantastic. And again, it highlights what we've kind of reiterated throughout this video. Polkadot's well-positioned nature in regards to being apparatus, the general purpose ledger that is going to allow people to actually move towards Web3 and solve many issues that their countries, enterprises, or individuals face with blockchain. So that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, a like is always appreciated, so as a comment, and I will catch you all on the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next.